Hello and welcome. Tonight, we journey back into the past, to a quieter world than ours, bathed in the warm light of lamps and the constant hum of a radio. It's the early 1940s. The war has stretched across seas, reaching into every home, every heart. And in a small American town somewhere, a woman sits at her window, waiting for the mail. The evening crickets hum their evening song outside. The mantel clock ticks steadily, each tick a heartbeat. A candle on the table next to her flickers, its flame shuddering just a little whenever a wind slips through the half-open window. She irons out the edges of a creased envelope that's been read so many times the paper is as soft as silk. The neat, deliberate handwriting is that of her husband, James, an overseas soldier. Each letter he writes is a strand connecting them, stretched over miles of water and days of nothing. She opens the new one and reads it again, slowly, as if it were a prayer. My dearest Anna, the evenings here are dark and chilly, but I remember you, and that warms me. We don't have much light, the stars, and occasionally, if the sky is clear, I pretend that you're seeing the same ones. I wonder if you continue to make a cup of tea for bed, like you used to. If you do, have a sip for me. She smiles weakly and closes her eyes. Yes, she still makes tea each evening, even when sugar is scarce, even when sleep seems distant. It's the ritual that brings him near. A train whistle wails through the hills outside. Far away, perhaps, another wife is hearing the same call, holding her own letter. The war has rendered the world smaller and emptier all at once. Anna places the letter on the table and gets up to the kitchen. The kettle whistles quietly as it heats up. She grabs 2 cups, even though she will be using only 1. The habit is difficult to break. Across the room, the radio buzzes along with the voice of a faraway announcer. Foreign news. Static. And then a tune. A slow, bittersweet one wafts through the room. Moonlight Serenade. They had sung that one the night he shipped out. She allows it to play while she takes her tea to the table and sits down once more, the steam wafting gently from the cup. She starts to write. My dear James, it rained this morning, rain that has the scent of new earth. The lilacs have bloomed out the kitchen window, as they did the day you went away. I think of you every time I see them. The neighbors wonder about you all the time. Mrs. Carmer says she's making socks for the boys abroad. I do hope you'll return home soon and share with me everything that you've witnessed. Until then, I wait and pray. Her handwriting is delicate, flowing. The ink flows well, the words bringing her heart across the sea. When she is finished, she tucks the letter into the envelope and places it with the others. A neat pile bound with a ribbon, each one a piece of their history. The night grows darker, the candle low. Outside, the stars twinkle dimly through the tattered clouds. She wraps a quilt around her shoulders and gazes up at the sky. Perhaps, she believes, he's gazing up at the same stars tonight, somewhere distant, missing home. Thousands of miles from that small, peaceful house, James is seated in his barracks, letter in hand. The air is scented with a trace of smoke and salt from the sea. He opens Anna's letter gingerly, the folds already creased from traveling. He reads her letters over and over again, each sentence dragging him from the cold gray of the world outside and back into the gentle glow of home. For an instant, he can almost hear her humming, sense the heat of her hand on his. The camp sounds recede, to be replaced by the distant recollection of a front porch, crickets, and lilac scents after rain. He dips into his pack and pulls out a small photograph. Anna in her garden, arms filled with a basket of flowers. The edges are creased, the hues pale. But to him, it's flawless. He mutters softly, soon, then refolds it tenderly and pushes it back into his coat. Weeks pass, and spring arrives. The war continues on, but there are small pockets of peace. Letters, music, hope. At home, Anna works in her garden. The lilacs are blooming more vibrantly this year, as if they too are anticipating his return. She lights a candle every night and rereads his letters, one by one. There's some of them dust-stained, some rain-spotted, or perhaps tear-spotted, but all have the same message, that love, even across the seas, lasts. And when at last she sleeps, the candle still burning on the windowsill, she dreams of a train arriving in the station at dawn, of a soldier onto the platform, his uniform creased, but his eyes aglow, of arms around one another after all those years apart. The clock ticks gently, the radio murmurs, and somewhere, far off, the world settles again. Thank you for sharing this peaceful journey tonight. May this tale bring you peace, comfort, and a reminder that love, like the letters we write, can traverse any distance. Sweet dreams and good night.